Let's get down to business.
I like to get things done and not waste time on things that don't get done.
The PM rocked into 2021 ready to roll and a little reflective.
What have you learned about leadership over the last 12 months?
Listen. You got to listen. But I'll tell you what, over the last 12 months, my ears have got very sharp.
Little did he know just how much that was about to be put to the test.
We are here because it's unfathomable that we are still having to fight this same, stale, tired fight.
It was described as Parliament's Me Too moment.
I came forward with my story to hopefully protect other women.
Thank you, Brittany!
No one...
Brittany Higgins' allegations of rape inside Parliament House rocking the nation.
It was dismissed, it was played down, and it was made to feel like it was my problem.
Jenny and I spoke last night, and she said to me, you have to think about this as a father.
Shouldn't have thought about it as a human being.
It shouldn't take having children to have a conscience.
More shock claims followed.
Attorney General Christian Porter has unmasked himself as the government minister at the centre of historical rape allegations.
Nothing in the allegations that have been printed ever happened.
Spurred on by the Higgins case, the Porter allegations and the growing number of reports of sexual misconduct emerging from Canberra, women across the country revolted.
The start of the solution is also quite simple. Making noise!
We've been saying this. We have been saying this for decades.
Listen to the women.
We put up with this sort of treatment our whole lives, sort of thought it was normal, never questioned it, and then you have a daughter and suddenly the rage explodes.
As for the PM's listening ears...
No, I won't be going out to the march, but I'm very happy to receive a delegation.
He couldn't open the door, walk across the forecourt and come and listen to us.
Not far from here, such marches, even now, are being met with bullets. But not here in this country, Mr. Speaker.
Not so much a tin air as a wall of concrete.
The Jenkins review findings, which eventually followed, confirmed the worst. 1 in 3 workers in Parliament experiencing sexual harassment, some sexual assault.
Many people share distressing experiences, sometimes for the first time. They did so with the hope that they could help make this workplace better for those who come after them.
The government yet to commit to implementing the 28 recommendations.
I like to get things done and not waste time on things that don't get done.
From reckonings to wrecking balls.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
We're spending $24 million on a campaign to tell people to get vaccinated, and we've got a taxpayer-funded nong running around telling people not to.
Craig Kelly wreaking havoc on public health messaging.
Mad, insane cult of vaccinists.
The Libs.
With a heavy heart, I resigned from the Liberal Party.
And our inboxes. And he was far from alone in the wrecking stakes.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
George Christensen blowing up Parliament on his way out the door.
Masks do not work.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Barnaby Joyce blowing up the National Party.
Barnaby Joyce has been elected leader of the National Party.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
And the National Party blowing up any hope of more ambitious 2030 climate action as it held the government ransom.
Net zero emissions by 2030. That is what the 2050, sorry, yes, no, we're not doing it by 2030. No way, never.
It was a situation that led to some awkward moments on the world stage.
The Australian PM isn't even certain that he could make it to the meeting in Glasgow.
Is that what he said?
He did say, yeah.
Australia, like our PM, the outlier when it came to climate ambition at the G20 and Glasgow.
I'd just rather be alone,
Incredibly, that wasn't the most awkward thing that happened on that trip.
Do you think he lied to you?
I don't think. I know.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Australia's relationship with France in tatters after our AUKUS alliance saw the French submarine deal ditched.
Scott Morrison elaborately
deceive the French.
No, that's not true.
Scott has always had a reputation for telling lies.
Speaking of slick, how about that vaccine rollout? What? You try segueing an entire year's worth of politics. Very good. It was the not a race that stopped the nation.
Not a race, 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 not a competition, not a competition.
The horse Australia backed proving problematic.
Age range for AstraZeneca from 50 to 60 and above.
But the advice does not preclude persons under 60 from getting the
AstraZeneca has always been available for anyone over the age of 18.
Should people under 40 get the AstraZeneca shot?
No, I do not want under 40s to get AstraZeneca.
Confusion reigned. The PM under pressure as Australia fell behind.
I've never heard the word sorry. Guys, you know what? Sorry. We did screw it up, but we're getting it right now.
Well, we've had problems and we've dealt with them.
Scott, I'd even take a my bad, Jace. Just my bad, Jace. We're moving on.
We're fixing the problems and getting on.
I got one for you. What does this spell? SORRY.
Sorry seems to be the hardest word.
I'm certainly sorry that we haven't been able to achieve the marks that we had hoped for.
Stepping in to fill the void, the real power brokers of the pandemic.
We have no alternative but to impose some fairly heavy immediate restrictions.
Alice Springs will enter a full lockdown
For the next 7 days.
You need to stay at home.
Or you will spread this virus. And I wish we didn't need to be doing this.
State leaders waging war on Delta.
You won't be able to go to the pub because the pub is shut. That doesn't mean you can have all your mates round to home and get on the beers.
Waging war on the federal government.
I will not be bullied by the Prime Minister of this country.
I've never spoken to Greg Hunt. He's got a very vivid imagination. I just urge the Commonwealth Government to stop making things up.
Waging war on poo.
Does John know something about the poo that other people don't? I'm just not interested in having whose poo it was arguments with John Barilaro.
Even waging war on innocent footballs.
If you are at Adelaide Oval and the ball comes towards you, my advice to you is to duck and just do not touch that ball.
But then ICAC waged war on one of them.
Resigning at this time is against every instinct in my being and something which I do not want to do.
The Corruption Watchdog's investigation into Gladys Berejiklian bringing her political career to an abrupt halt.
Thank you very much.
Before the PM tried to revive it again, pending ICAC findings be damned.
If she wished to join our team, she would be very welcome.
But it wasn't to be. Gladys crushing the PM's campaign dreams like... Sorry, couldn't resist. Lucky for us, the campaigning will go on.
Hit the go button, Angus.
There we go. It's working.
I don't have a problem with electric vehicles.
And on.
Elections are about choices.
And on.
Whenever Labor tells you something's going to be free, I guarantee you'll end up paying for it. Every single time.
And the election hasn't even been called yet. It's enough to leave you a bit muddled in the head.
A lot of us are very confused.
I am 67 years of age and I turned 67 yesterday. My birthday was last month.
But the Senate did hear you say yesterday was your birthday.
Yesterday was not my birthday, so you are wrong. My birthday was last month.
Oh, I'm one of the dumber ones, so I'm really at a loss.
A member for the Kimberley said that she would fight like a Chichuana to retain regional representation.
Where is she?
Chichula. I stand corrected on the pronunciation of the dog. She would fight like a Chihuahua. They're fierce fighters, and that's her words. That's her words. Don't blame me.
It's a chihuahua.
I would much sooner live in Australia than anywhere else in the nation.
Us too, Michael. Us too.
I do not blame that man for getting the pronunciation of Chihuahua wrong. My mother used to pronounce Chihuahua Chahuhahu for approximately a decade and a half. So, yeah, Chahuhahu.
That's elegant. I like it. It's classy.
It works.
And from this day forth, that's how we shall pronounce it.
It should be pronounced Chahuhahu. There you go.